Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final third. And today we're going to be looking at the relegation battle. Realistically, there's only two teams that are really in it at the moment, and it is West Ham and Tottenham Hotspur. Very interesting. You got to look. We're going to look at their run of games, who we think is more likely to get relegated. We actually saw this. I saw this on the Monday Night Football on Sky Sports, and Jamie Carragher and somebody else predicted it. Sorry for that. But at the end of the video, we'll do predictions for the Premier League games, obviously, and we might mention the FA Cup games as well. So yeah, that is the schedule for the video, and we don't have a player to reveal, so let's just jump straight into it. Okay, let's go on to, I would say, West Ham, because
Yeah,
currently they are the team that are out of the relegation zone.
yeah. Okay.
So obviously
Start
the
with their
first
fixtures.
game is Everton.
Yes, it is. Obviously we're going to do our predictions later, but I just want to mention I don't think we're going to get something out of this
Or
personally.
actually, I think what we should do, which might be better, I'm going to tell you the games,
Okay.
and then you let me know what you think. Okay, so West Ham, Everton,
Okay.
Brent. Do you want to say
Do you want
after?
to? Oh, you're going to say all the games
Yeah,
first?
yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
So West Ham, Everton, Brentford, West Ham. They're playing away. West
Mm.
Ham, Arsenal. So they're at home. Newcastle, West Ham. West Ham away. West Ham vs Leeds on the final day of the season. Those are your run of
Yeah. No.
games.
I think we got a more difficult run of games than Tottenham for sure. Yeah, look, if you want to look at it in the perspective of the fact that our form has been better than Tottenham at the moment, there's more of a togetherness,
Way
with
better. The
Tottenham
last Premier League game they won was
and
in
everything.
December.
However, and I said, it happened for West Ham and it can happen for Tottenham. I know we've only got a few games left, but all it takes is one win to find form. And if Tottenham get that win with the run of games they have compared to us, they could easily overtake us. Now, obviously, I don't want that to happen. I should try to be a bit more optimistic, but it's truth. It is the truth. I mean, it's not. Look, if we had got that win against, if we got a win against Crystal Palace, it could have made everything more, more comfortable for us. However, because we didn't, it's only still a 2 point gap, which means all it takes is one win for Tottenham and us to lose, which could even happen this weekend, just for them to get back out of the relegation zone and us to get back in it. So that's why I think it's still not as simple. I don't think it's, as clear as day for West Ham to survive. I think Tottenham still have a chance. And yeah, look, again, right now, when you look at both of the camps, it does seem like West Ham are more, up for it, more on form. The players are more on form, playing better football as well, and they're together with the manager. So yeah, I mean that, like, at the moment it looks like West Ham are probably more likely to survive, but again, it's the Premier League, it's football. You never know what can happen. So yeah, I mean it's not looking ideal though with that run of fixtures.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know, bro. I can't lie. It's just, like you say, it's a sticky one for you. But we'll go on to Tottenham's run of games, and starting off, it is Wolves away for them,
Yes,
which is again quite a favourable game. Aston Villa away, that's not an easy game at
that's
all.
not easy
Leeds
at
at
all.
home, not an easy game. Chelsea versus Tottenham, I'd probably say I'd even I don't even know who you'd edge it to. They're both probably going to lose. And Tottenham versus Everton. Obviously, Everton seems like they're going to have a big say in this relegation battle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll talk on the Tottenham side of stuff because obviously you mentioned West Ham.
Mm.
I mean, realistically, if you don't beat Wolves, you deserve to get relegated, especially in this position. You deserve to be relegated. They're a side that's already relegated, but sometimes that makes it dangerous because they're a team that have nothing to lose, and that is what makes it very very dangerous with a side like Wolves. It's one of the last home games they have in the Premier League until they get relegated, so
100%.
they're gonna give it 100%, I think, and that's gonna make it hard. Villa still want to officially cement their spot in the Champions League, so obviously they're gonna be giving it a little bit. Leeds as well, they want to stay as far clear as possible and potentially even. I mean, there is still time for them. By the time they reach this game, they could still make a very, very late European push. I believe it's still possible for them. Um, Chelsea versus Spurs as well. I mean, depending on the position and how they do over the next couple of games, Chelsea, you never know, could be in and amongst the Champions League spots,
Yeah.
maybe. And Everton, to be
Still
honest,
fighting for Europe, to be fair
there
to
we
them.
go, still fighting for Europe. So what I'm saying is there's a lot on the line for the clubs
Teams.
that I think Tottenham are playing. I would say more than West Ham. But I will say obviously West Ham are playing Arsenal,
Yeah.
which can make a massive difference. Yeah, to be honest,
It's gonna I think it will come down possibly to the last day to see who
100%.
survives.
I agree.
And I just want to mention, right, I just want to quickly talk on Tottenham side things, right? I don't like this narrative that people still call them a big six club. How can they be a big six club, yeah, when they're fighting relegation 2 seasons in a row? I'm sorry. Look, that European trophy means nothing now. They're still fighting relegation. They've been awful all season. Maybe the beginning of the season they were all right for like maybe the first 2 games. But apart from that, they have not been great. Mickey Van de Ven is a bit of a fraud, if I'm being honest at this point. And that's coming from me. And I'll be honest, I did say at some points in the season that he was a great centre back, and I may or may have not said he was world class. Which, to be honest, if I could go back and like slap myself, I would, because that was completely incorrect. He's not good. They don't have any leaders whatsoever at the moment, which is a very worrying thing in the situation that they're in. Because when you look at West Ham, and yes, Bowen has been questioned a couple of times about his leadership, but you can see now that is coming through, and that there is a leader in that dressing room. Even when it wasn't Bowen, there were other leaders there. However, when you look at that Tottenham Hotspur dressing room, who is there? Who is there? Romero Vissal's getting bloody
Sent
either
off left,
sent
right, and
off
center.
or injured, which doesn't help. Okay, injury is not his fault, but whatever. He's putting in poor performances. Van der Ven's not doing anything, and then the rest of the players are a bit inexperienced. You know what I mean? So yeah, they just don't have any leaders whatsoever. But that's my take, and that's why I do think it's a bit more of a bad situation for Tottenham.
Agreed. Yeah, like you say, they haven't won a game this year in the
Mm,
Premier League. Now, that is unbelievable to think.
that's crazy.
How they haven't won a game when they played almost every single side in the Premier League is mental to me.
I
Now,
know.
tomorrow, realistically, they are playing. No, sorry, not tomorrow. The day after.
Technically, but anyway,
Well, tomorrow when the video gets uploaded. Yeah.
it would be tomorrow.
It will be tomorrow. So realistically, if you don't beat Wolves, you got to call it a day. I think, especially in this position, because that is the easiest game you have. If you don't win your easy games and you go into your hard games with low confidence, it's what are the chances you have to stay in the league? And it will be insane to see the club like Tottenham, whether you think they're not a big six club anymore, to see that stadium in
Yeah,
the
that would be,
championship is
bro.
insane.
It's
That
got.
is arguably the nicest
I
stadium
think
in
it's the
England.
most expensive stadium.
It's probably the most expensive, and it's probably the
It's
most
like
beautiful
half a
stadium.
bill.
I'll be honest, it is a very beautiful stadium, but it's just sad to see that you have such a terrible football club, the
Yeah.
one that own it, and the team doesn't match the
Yep.
ambition
100%.
that the stadium sets, the training ground they have. I mean, even the last couple of years, they haven't really matched it. Okay, last year you win the Europa League, but realistically,
That was like by the
United,
skin
if
of
they
their
had
teeth.
had anything, if they had done anything that was good, they would have won that game. But they didn't. United were just worse.
Yeah. Look. What else? What? Now we actually discussed if Tottenham were to get relegated, would they come straight back up? I said I'm not too sure, and it's crazy to think about something. Crazy to think something like that, especially with the amount of money that they do generate. However, what you got to think about is first of all, when they go to the championship, they're not going to be filling out that stadium. They won't. I'm telling you now, they won't. Right? Which that means the loss of revenue. Now, with the player contracts, now this is something we discussed. Do they have relegation clauses in it? They might have done it because of last season, but they might not have because they might have thought they were, because they're so ambitious and they thought they wouldn't be in this situation. A lot of clubs that are big clubs wouldn't put their relegation clauses in the contracts because they just don't expect to be in that situation. Not only that, but would the players sign the contract if there's relegation clause in it? Possibly not, right? So now that you got this situation, let's say they hypothetically, let's just say Tottenham don't have any relegation clauses for their players, yeah, that they've signed. The amount of money they'll start losing it's insane. Like they won't be
Well, they're
able
gonna have a
to.
mass exodus because let's be honest, I don't think a lot of players want to play for the
Of course
championship.
not. Of
They
course not.
have quality footballers that don't deserve to play in the championship. With we can go through the squad realistically, the likes of Xavi Simons, who joined in the summer. You
Yeah,
got Lucas Bergvald, who's a fantastic young player. I would say most of their back line. I know we don't really rate Mickey Van der Ven at the moment
but
this
he'll leave.
season, but he is a type of player that if he goes to a big club, he can improve and grow. James Madison's a great player. Joao Paina's on loan. Now, if Tottenham buy him, he's just trapped.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's not great. You know, even someone like a Mateus Tell didn't really get much game time.
It's gonna be a mess.
Go
It
on,
just sorry.
Mehdi.
Oh,
One
yeah.
user says, "Nah, in my opinion, Spurs have a big enough fan base to fill all of the whole stadium in the
No,
Championship."
I think yeah, and I agree with that.
Yeah, but a lot of fans might not want to come to the games because of how disappointed they are about being in the championship. Honestly, that's what I reckon. A lot of people
Could
go
be.
there for the big atmosphere in terms of playing the big teams, playing in the Champions League, playing in the Europa League. Now that they're down at the championship, a lot of fans won't want to go to that in a stadium that big. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say that there's going to be like 10,000 people, but my point is it will definitely cut down, which would obviously cut the revenue. It's Look, it's going to be a crazy situation, and I kind of can't wait to see how it looks. But I do also feel slightly bad for the fans because it's not their fault. But yeah, anyway,
Go on, Mehdi.
you got a
If
question.
Spurs goes down, does Son's entire Premier League legacy become participation trophy?
So I don't know why
Well,
that would have anything to do with Son.
I don't think that will impact it. He's gone
He's not
now.
in the league,
He's
so
not connected to
nothing to
Tottenham
yeah,
at
it's
the
nothing to do
moment,
with
so not really.
I mean, if is there a club legend in this? No,
Romero, maybe.
he's not a club legend.
I mean, I'm not.
If
Tottenham
he's a
fan.
club legend,
Look,
then
I'm not a
the
Tottenham fan. I
standards
can't
are in
say
the bin.
who and who's not a club legend, but the way they've held him like up on a podium, I don't know what pedestal. That's the one. You'd think he might be a club legend, but I agree in terms of the way he like how his talent is. No, not for me. But
Bro, if
again, I'm
Tottenham
not a Tottenham
believe
fan, so.
they have any of their players on their squad are club legends, they are absolutely they're the opposite of club legends.
But yeah, no, it's just like it's such a crazy situation. It's just like you just don't think a team this big could ever get relegated, but we're in this position now where Tottenham could genuinely get relegated because it doesn't look like it's getting any better. Look, that Brighton game, if they had won that, what it would have meant for them is you don't know. Like I said, one win and it can change the whole atmosphere, the momentum, and everything. But conceding the way they did last minute, yeah, that's just yeah, it's just epitomizes how they've been in the last like
Proper Spursy.
this year epitomizes it.
Proper Spursy.
Yeah, it's proper Spursy if they would get relegated as well. But there you go. That's the relegation battle.
That's the relegation battle, but realistically, we didn't decide who is going to go down. Who do you think the other two are going to go down?
I don't want to say my team, so I'm just going to say Spurs.
I agree. I think Spurs, because they have no confidence, and we've already mentioned it, they lack confidence, and the teams they're coming up against have a lot to fight for. So I know they have a lot to fight for to stay in the league, of course, and have that revenue. But with confidence and that revenue argument, you would say that
They got a lot of injuries.
a lot of injuries, exactly, suspensions and all that. That's also something. Yeah, I just don't see them staying in the league, if I'm honest. And really, they don't deserve to stay in the league because of how poor they are. European champions to relegated team is unbelievable to see. But that is it, as we said from the relegation battle. We both think that Tottenham will get relegated. Clip it up. Who cares? We think that will be the case. Let's go on to a couple of the FA Cup games before we do the Premier League predictions. But Manchester City versus Southampton. Surely there's only one result here.
Yeah, pretty much. Do we even have to discuss this game? There's nothing
Man
to
City.
discuss.
At one point, Man City looked like they were having a terrible season. They're on for a domestic treble.
This happens every season with Man City, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Except for last season.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's just Pep Guardiola. He knows how to lock in.
The fact that he can still get a domestic treble is insane.
Yeah, domestic treble and like
realistically, all the trophies off Arsenal.
Yeah, exactly. And
I love it.
All these players, they come in like the ones they signed in January, the ones they signed in the summer. They just have massive impacts, and that's how you back a manager. And I mentioned this so many times before. Obviously, Pep deserves it. He's the greatest, one of the greatest managers of all time, arguably the greatest manager of all time.
Yeah.
So I would say he's the one who deserves it the most. But to back your manager, it has to be done, no matter what level you're at, especially when you're a top six side. Like I've watched managers for Man United, for Chelsea, for Liverpool. I know they've spent a lot of money, but there's backing in the sense of backing correctly. If you back a manager with the correct player they want, the exact player, the exact profile, then that is the correct way of doing it, not just buying high profile players at massive price points.
No, you're right.
So yeah, I would say that, realistically they should be winning everything. Or everything they have left. And we'll go on to the game on Sunday, and it is Chelsea vs Leeds. Now, honestly,
I can see Leeds winning this.
I can see Leeds winning this.
I'd feel very good if Leeds won this, and I hope they get to the. I'd love it to see them win the whole thing.
I wouldn't.
No,
No, I
oh,
wouldn't.
I understand why you wouldn't, but look, because it's been a long time since. Well, to be fair, I think Leicester the last team that I can think of that won the FA Cup that wasn't like a Big Six team.
I believe so.
Because you won it, City would have won it, obviously.
Liverpool won
Liverpool, maybe even Chelsea. No, I can't remember. But Leicester.
Palace last season.
Oh my god! Well, how can I forget Palace?
Palace won it last season.
I completely forgot about that.
By the way, the cameraman's a Palace fan, so yeah, he's fuming.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. I do apologize.
Yeah.
But again, like that was nice to see, was it not?
It was very nice.
So it'd be nice to see another team similarly win the FA Cup. That
Underdogs,
unexpected, the underdogs.
Yeah, last year was the year of the underdogs, so
yeah,
I don't think it's the same this year though.
But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. That is it for the FA Cup. We already mentioned Chelsea. I think did we mention Chelsea?
I don't think we did.
Do you know what? Listen, Chelsea. They're just a team because I know a lot of Chelsea fans, and they are not happy. They are not happy at all. And can you blame them? They won't bring in a manager until the end of the season, right? They are on the worst form in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Talk about Tottenham being bad. Let's be honest, London's just having a stinker
pretty
in
much
2026. Absolute stinker. Except for maybe Palace, maybe.
Yeah.
Go on.
What are your guys' opinion on star players getting injured for World Cup because of too many games?
What are thoughts on star players getting injured?
I mean, it depends on the context of the question, really. Can you say it again?
Can I get your guys' opinion on star players injured for World Cup because they play too many games?
Getting injured before the World Cup, is that what they mean? I think.
I think that's what they meant.
Probably, yeah.
So so like what, faking an injury to play from the World Cup?
Yamal, Akite.
Getting injured before the World Cup.
Oh, because of too many games?
Yeah, I mean, Ekitike is different because I don't think he's going to play in the World Cup.
No, right? But what he's saying, like...
I get what you mean. For playing too many games. Look, I get what they mean. I think there are some games that are just, like, not needed, if I'm being honest, sometimes.
The new Champions League format might be a big restriction. I like the Champions League format as a fan, but as players, and imagine being inside and, the tiredness of the players, and they are humans still.
Like, exactly. I know they're on millions of pounds and all this, and it's easy just to be like, nah, bro, if I were in their position, I'd not complain. But, bro, it takes a toll on you. Like, bro, when we play football for a couple hours, are you not tired afterwards? Now, imagine doing that, like, twice a week, every week. Or even sometimes, maybe even more. Like, it's not, of course, injuries are going to happen. Also depends on the style of play that you play as a club. We saw with Postecoglou, there was a lot of injuries again as well. So, yeah, my opinion is sometimes, like, I do think there are some games that are just, like, unnecessary. I think the Club World Cup is a bit stupid, if I'm being honest. I don't think it's needed. I really don't. I think it's just too many games. And at this point, it's all about money, isn't it? That's the only thing. They're not doing this because of the fans. They're doing this for the money. So at the end of the day, I can understand why players do complain.
Cool.
Another question.
Is Chelsea an expensive Everton based on the last 3 years of play? Can they really be called a Big Six team?
Ooh.
I would, to be honest, I'd put them more as a Big Six team than Tottenham, for sure, because it's not like they're fighting relegation. However, I get what you're saying. One thing I want to say about Chelsea, I think it's going to be a very, very long time until we see them competing for the title again. I think they need a massive rebuild. A lot of players, I think, will leave in the summer. They're still such a very inexperienced team. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the inexperience is a massive factor. They don't have any experience in the defense, and that is one of the most important positions where if you lock that down, then that's realistically where you win most of your points. It's you win games from the attack, and you win titles from the defense.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you don't have a good defense, then you're not going to win either. So
I mean, Blueco has set them back severely, and I think it will, like I say, be a long time till we see them competing properly for the big titles, whether it's the Premier League or even the Champions League, or even the cups in general. I know they're in the semi-final, but like, bro, I don't have enough confidence in them to win it. Maybe to the final, but not to the.
It's kind of insane for me, and this is kind of changing the subject. I was just thinking about how, last year all the Champions League clubs that were in there. Obviously Arsenal, City, you expect them to qualify for the Champions League again. Liverpool are on the edge. Chelsea, they're quite far off now.
Yeah.
Tottenham are obviously in the relegation
Yeah.
battle, and then Newcastle aren't doing very well either. But it's mental to see how, if you don't have a good squad, if you don't invest, then how much it can really have an effect on your team. Only the teams that we knew had good squads were back in the Champions League the season after. But you look at the rest of them, it's very hard.
Yeah.
And injuries, suspensions,
Ownerships.
ownerships.
Blue coat. Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Honestly, but like the Enzo Maresca sacking is a perfect example of why I think it will take them so long. Because how can you have a manager that will probably got them competing for the title after like a couple more transfer windows, and then sack him just because he spoke out?
Yeah.
That's when you got to take responsibility and say, okay, why are they speaking out? Because we're doing a bad job, so we need to pattern up.
Yeah.
Not let's just sack the manager. We're not taking that. No, bro, pattern up, bro. Do something. Look at yourself in the mirror and do something about it. But that's not what the Blue Coat are doing. They just take all of it out on the manager and sack him, and they deserve what comes. I do feel bad for the fans, but the ownership themselves deserve it. So,
yeah, I think we've mentioned quite a lot about ownerships and the relegation battle and everything. But before we do end the video, we got two things.
You got a question?
Yeah.
Someone says, who's your favourite for the UCL final out of Arsenal and Atletico?
Atletico. I'm gonna go Atletico.
I hope it's Atletico, but I think it's Arsenal.
I think it's Atletico.
Why? I think they just have better players.
Do you know what it is? I think Atletico will get one goal or two, and then they just go straight around.
Actually, now that you say that, I think Julian Alvarez, I said this before, he will have a massive impact on this game. Just depends, really. It depends on who shows up on the night. But if you're gonna tell me right now,
I think that's.
I tell you what, Atletico are losing very poor games as well. I don't know what you saw in the league. They lost 3-2 to Eche, I think, or Eche.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah.
So they're both in bad form, but I think Atletico have more Champions League experience of late. I know they both haven't won it, but Champions League experience of late because Atletico have qualified for way more finals.
Yeah,
probably should have had one. But yeah, I'll probably say Atletico as well. Now that I think about it. That's it. We're just gonna show you our predictions for the Premier League here somewhere. And Al, can you give us the final quiz, please?
Yes, I can. Let's start with the first fact, which is he began his professional career at Peterborough United before being signed by a bigger Premier League club as a teenager. Secondly, he joined Tottenham Hotspur early in his career but made only limited league appearances there. Third fact, he later became a key wide player for West Ham United during the mid-2000s. The fourth fact, he spent some of his best Premier League years at Stoke City, where his crossing was a major weapon alongside Rory Delapse's long throws. And for the fifth and the final fact, this English winger was known for pace, direct dribbling, and dangerous deliveries from the left side. So let us know if you know who that is in the comments down below, and we'll reveal him at the start of the next video.
Perfect, Al. Thank you very much. That is it from us, guys. We really appreciate you for coming in. And yeah, please leave a like.
On our other account.
What do you mean?
On our other account.
Oh, of course, yeah. Okay,
Sorry.
so we'll mention this as well. So, me and Ali recently we started our own separate accounts because I think it's better to sort of expand the horizons a little bit. Obviously, Al's a West Ham fan. I'm a Man United fan. I've got my coaching going on for me as well. So you'll be able to keep track of all of that on our personal accounts on a more what's it called, magnified level. So drop us a follow. I'm pretty sure the tags are below us.
Yeah.
So if you drop us a follow, we'll hopefully get more exciting content on more different platforms. So thank you guys for coming in. Please leave a like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you get notified when we upload videos, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.